Pop quiz, hot shot. Two guys are here to talk about a movie. What movie is it? Let's get rolling. It's FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Gagne. With me, as always, my partner in crime, the Nald Dog.
What's up, man? What's up, everybody?
Hey. What movie are we here to talk about? If they
we got a good one. At least I think it's a good one. We got the 1994.
Wait, Snakes on a Bus?
No, heck no. Snakes on a Bus? That's not even a movie. It's Snakes on a Plane.
I have had it with these mother snakes on this mother plane.
Got it.
You're an idiot.
Got it. I know.
1994. Speed. Keanu Reeves. Speed. Rated R. An hour and 55 minutes. That's it. Not even 2 hours. Let's get into it. I know it's 1994, but this is an action-packed movie.
We will start with the fact that they could have probably, I don't know, made the title sequence a little bit shorter. How long was that elevator shaft that they were going down where they had to do all the title sequence in the beginning? It was just like never ending, like oh, we're getting down to the end of the elevator shaft.
First of all, it didn't go it wasn't like that, okay? Because I have written down in my notes that theme, that score in the beginning is fantastic. I don't even know who did the score. I don't think
Mark
it's anybody.
Mancina.
Look at you.
I looked it up because there's a lot of similarities to some other movies he did, like Bad Boys, like Twister, like Con Air, like Tarzan. Not like Tarzan, but he did do Tarzan. But those other ones, there's a lot of similarities. Those are all his scores.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, it was great. I'm sure it felt a little long, the elevator scene and all the credits, but it was kind of like, okay, what am I in for? I liked it. I liked that elevator scene and that whole scene in the very beginning when they're trying to save all those passengers on the elevator.
Sure.
It's fantastic. It is action-packed, edge of your seat stuff right in the beginning, so it gets you right away. Thank you, Speed.
Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree. I just thought the title sequence was really long. But in defense of the movie, I do believe back then they used to have to put like everybody, all that had to happen in the very beginning. And so, you try to come up with a creative way to do it. All right, fine, Jean de Bont. I'll give you a pass on your opening credit scenes. This was his first movie. Did you know that?
Jean de Bont, the director.
Yeah, the director.
I did not know that was his first movie. I know that he directed other ones like a Twister and Speed 2, even if I don't know that's who directed. Yeah.
We're not
I didn't know it was his first movie. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good for his first movie.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, to give somebody the helm to, do a high, big budget action flick starring at the time an unknown Sandy Bullock. And I guess Keanu was kind of definitely getting really popular at this time.
Yeah, this was past his Bill and Ted stuff.
Sure,
this was like, now it's like Point Break. Did Point Break come out before this?
That's a good question. I think it did.
Yeah.
Which I was going to bring up because I feel like, and maybe this is just Keanu being Keanu, but it was literally Johnny Utah all over again. Like it's
Johnny Utah.
Yeah.
It's
very similar character.
Yeah.
A little nostalgia for us. Not necessarily a fun fact, but one of the writers, Graham Yost, also wrote one of our favorite films, The Good Old Mission to Mars.
He did.
That's
a great movie, Christopher. That's a fantastic movie.
I know. We're in the minority on that, but I still agree that it's a very great movie. So
it's a great.
Thanks, Graham Yost. Appreciate that.
Wow, I did not know that. The introduction of Jack Traven and Harry, his partner, was really funny because they're going to this building, and all of a sudden you see their car, and this car like jumps probably 7 feet in the air, just rushing to the building. And I thought, really? Their car is going so fast that their car is going to jump 8-10 feet in the air and land okay? I thought that was a little bit too much, but it's okay.
I thought it was too much because I'm like, what city are they in? I thought they were in like Long Beach. There's no hills there. Were they in San Francisco? Where are these coming from?
Well, there's no ramps on the freeway either, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So.
Valid. What'd you think of our baddie in this movie?
Dennis Hopper?
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper was good. He played it really well. Again, the cliche of the villain who talks too much and doesn't do enough, just keeps on talking and talking and talking. And in the very beginning, he says he wants $3.7 million. I thought, Why the 0.7? Why not just say 4 or 5? Why round it to 0.7?
Yeah, did they ever really explain that?
No, I think he was a retired cop,
Right.
and
He wanted what
who
was due to him.
yeah, he wanted what was due to him. So, and he
Yeah.
knew how to disarm or make bombs and all kinds of bombs, and that's why they couldn't figure out all the different type of bombs he was making. So he was okay. He was good. I mean, it's Dennis Hopper. He was good.
Yeah, and I liked Dennis Hopper, but it felt forced in this movie. It felt weird or off. Like he was really trying hard to like play this sadistic madman, but it just came off kind of comical. Maybe it doesn't because he's not acting with anyone, and I'm sure that's not an easy task when you're on the other end of a movie, and I don't know if he's talking to Keanu for real or he's just doing his lines, but yeah, it just felt a little off from the rest of the movie for me.
Sure, I could see that. I mean, sometimes when he tried laughing really like a villain, it sounded weird, a little forced, But he did deliver a great line, which is "Pop quiz, hot shot."
He did, and that's a good. But technically, he stole that from Harry. So Harry was the one doing the pop quiz in the beginning, and Dennis was listening. And so,
yeah, you're smart. I understand that you're smart, but he did not say "pop quiz, hot shot." He made it better.
Okay, I'll give you that, but still, Jeff Daniels is the real hero of this movie. So
Jeff Daniels. Okay, whatever. Sandra Bullock. Was this before or after Demolition Man? It was after, right? It was like a year after.
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, it was a year after. She had much more to do with this movie than Demolition Man.
Yeah, they gave her something. They gave her something to do in this
Like
movie.
driving the bus.
She was driving the bus. So yeah, she was the bus driver because Sam got shot. So
good old Sam.
Good old Sam.
Gotta have. There's that issue I have with the movie is that there always felt like, and then maybe it's just like this is technically not an action movie, but a disaster movie where there always has to be something going on to keep the action going, or like what's next, what's going to happen now. It's Sam getting shot. It's the freeway exit. It's there's just so many of that like okay, now what type moments. To the extent that when I thought the movie was over, it wasn't over yet. I completely forgot about the actual ending.
The subway scene?
Yes, I
don't
even remember it.
Okay, I don't think the subway scene was needed, but we'll get that to in a little bit. You mentioned getting off the freeway. Listen, I understand that this movie you kind of have to shut off your brain a little bit,
sure.
Maybe more than a little bit, because you're in a bus and you're trying to go over 50 miles per hour in downtown LA, which is like the worst case scenario ever. It's like the worst city to be in for this type of situation.
Sure.
You're driving around downtown LA and you're hitting all these cars. And then at one point she thought she hit a baby, but they're freaking cans. And
there's always a baby stroller, man. It's like it's a necessary trope in action films. Like there's got to be a baby stroller coming out in the middle of the street. Didn't we just see that in The Rock? Or do we not see it later in The Rock, I guess I should say? Or was it Armageddon? I mean, it seems like it's in every action movie I can think of. Oh, here comes the baby stroller.
Yeah. Fun fact, everybody. Here we go. Harry, who was played by Jeff Daniels, was also a character named Harry in Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey. Same year. Those two movies came out in 1994. Jeff Daniels played two Harrys in 1 year.
Do you think he forgot what his actual name was that year? Like, I can't imagine being on set for like, at least half of a year to film two films. And, he just was called Harry all the time.
I wonder if they did that. I wonder if this one came out afterwards and they're like, "I'll just name me Harry because of Dumb and Dumber."
He's like, I can't remember my line if you call me this.
Let's get to the worst line. You got a worst line in this?
Oh,
I got a couple.
I got a couple too.
Okay.
So, and this is why I brought up Dennis Hopper. Do you want to go first with your worst lines?
I have like three, but I need to pick one. So,
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Go. You go first.
I thought it was early on when Dennis Hopper is establishing himself as, this maniacal bad guy, but it actually is later that he delivers a line to our hero, Keanu himself, where he says, he's arguing with him about something. He says, "No, poor people are crazy, Jack. I'm eccentric."
No, poor people are crazy, Jack. I'm eccentric.
I don't get it. Poor people are crazy. Like, is he? What? okay, like Jack calls him crazy and that's his response. It just didn't make sense.
It's Dennis Hopper. Stop arguing with Dennis Hopper. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Rest in peace, Dennis. I'm sorry for arguing with you.
All right, he's passed away, everybody. Dennis Hopper's dead. Not cool for bringing out Dennis Hopper in his bad line, Chris.
I mean, I only gave one of them. I could have said more.
Okay, all right. Well, all right, so my worst line, all three of my lines were delivered by Keanu Reeves, but I think I'm going to go with this one. It was towards the end when the subway had crashed. Spoilers, people. They live. And the subway crashes and they're about to kiss. And he goes, I'm going to read it to you. He goes, I have to warn you. I heard relationships that start on an intense experiences, they never work.
I've heard relationships based on intense experiences never work.
I didn't like it. I was just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad line because it was already delivered. It didn't need to be said again.
Well, that's the okay.
She mentioned it already. It's like, wow, this relationship's going to be fun.
Yes, I agree. And that's the problem I have with the third act of this movie is that they repeat everything all over again. Okay, so I'm going to jump a little bit ahead, but we're going to go back to the bus jumping scene. But I want to get to this. So the third act involves the same thing, except it's on a subway. It's on a subway train. They have to jump the track, right? There's a bomb. They think there's a bomb on there, or the bomb gets diffused. He goes, well, we have to speed it up. So we're going to jump the track. And again, they deliver the same line. I thought the subway scene was not needed. For being an hour and 37 minutes, I didn't think that subway scene was needed. I didn't.
Yeah. It, what I had noticed about that is when they do jump the track, nothing happens. Like there's like no need to jump the track. Like it derails regardless. They end up going up it wasn't like the bus scene. The actual was peril there. Like if they didn't jump there, they're gonna fall. They're underground here. What track are they jumping and why are they jumping it? Because when it does happen, you're like, well, cool, they're just continuing to crash through an area.
I don't know, but remember the driver got shot. So, and then the emergency brake wasn't working.
Right.
So he's like, I got to speed it up. And so he speeded it up.
It's called speed. I guess they just have to do that. Like everything is the only thing we can do here is go faster.
Must go faster.
Every time.
Yeah. Did you hear that song at the end? About speed. Who was that?
I don't know. It's so
I don't
bad.
either. It was awful.
it's as bad as Simple Minds don't you forget about me, right?
Okay. So no, it's not that. I mean,
if you haven't watched our John Hughes deep dive, Ronaldo doesn't like that song. So.
All right, let's move forward. We can talk about that later. Let's go back and let's talk about the bus jumping scene. This part.
Physics?
I don't know, bro, but they said that there was going to be a ramp, right? The freeway wasn't finished.
Yeah.
And they said there's a ramp on there and they could make it. But as the bus is approaching the edge, you see the bus go like this, right? And then the next shot, it's like this. So I could forgive that part because it's such a fun movie, but physics, yo.
Yeah. That's where the movie jumps the bus, literally and figuratively. After that, it's all downhill for me. It's all down ramp. It's all off ramp. It's all just nonsense, and I lose my interest.
Really?
Yeah. After that, I was done with it, and especially because they have. It was almost like they got to off the bus, and then they were like, now what? Now how do we catch the bad guy? Oh, we got it. That part's completely unnecessary. And after this, I just like, what else can we do with a bus that needs to go 50 miles an hour? Oh, let's go drive around in circles in an airport. Like it, and some of those scenes work, and it makes sense at first, but it just doesn't deliver anything else for me after the bus jumping scene.
Huh. Okay. I like when they were in the airport running, circling the runway, and then Jack gets on the little dolly and he's going into the bus. And I thought that was a pretty intense scene. I liked it.
Fair enough. I lied. So I shouldn't say that it was completely shit after that. but that scene is fantastic. That's a
Yeah.
fun scene. You're right.
Yeah, that's a pretty
But
good
she's freaking
scene.
out. She keeps thinking she ran him over.
Yeah, yeah. But then they outsmart the villain, right? They get the video footage from the bus and they loop it and they just play it, and that's how they outsmart him.
Mhm.
And then they get the people off the bus, and I think that's the problem. Right after they get everybody off the bus, you're kind of invested in all these passengers because you're on the bus with them. And after that, they get them off, then that's it. You don't really see them anymore.
Mhm.
It would have been a cool way to end it the way they did, how he went under the trap door and he got Annie, Sandra Bullock, and that was
Yeah.
such a
Mhm.
cool rescue way way to do it. But no, that's not how it happened. They kept going on with the subway, and then you get that cheesy line where, Dennis Hopper gets beheaded on top of the subway, and he goes, "'Cause I'm taller," and then he gets back into the subway, and Annie goes, "What happened to Payne, Howard Payne?" And he goes, "I guess he just lost his head." I mean. Didn't it like Austin Powers do some joke about getting ahead or somebody loses his head?
You'll never be the head of a major corporation.
Okay, that'll do.
Okay.
Yeah. After
You'll never get ahead in
beheaded-
life.
Exactly. Yeah. That's no way to get ahead. And yeah, it's a better gag in that movie for sure. Keanu's Keanu. Like maybe I'm just an apologist for him. Like I love him. I don't care. Like he's not the problem with this movie. The movie's the problem with the movie. Like you didn't build out enough. It's a great concept. It's a lot of fun until like it just becomes too long and unnecessary. Also, spoilers, how are you gonna kill my boy Jeff? Come on. Like my favorite character in the movie, and they just kill him. Come on. What SWAT team is just gonna run into a house for somebody who is literally a bomb expert? You didn't think he had anything rigged at his house? Come on.
You're right. But Jeff, Harry, for everybody, Harry, his partner, I thought that was needed, because in the very beginning at the bar, he tells him, one day I'm not going to be here and I'm not going to be able to save your ass. Okay. So I thought that was kind of a cool callback to the beginning. As much as I didn't like seeing Harry die, I thought it was kind of a cool thing.
Valid,
not that
valid.
cool that it was. Yeah.
I just didn't like the way he went out, because Harry's smarter than that. He's the one who was figuring everything out. Like,
right. Yeah.
He's just going to, I know he wanted to get the bad guy, but come on. He's just going to rush in and not be like, I was a little bummed about that. It's funny. I recall loving the movie, but I felt kind of underwhelmed this time around. I think Sandy makes the movie. I think she's fantastic in it.
Do you call her Sandy now?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to call her Sandy?
Yeah. We've been,
Gotcha.
We've been around with, we have a relationship since, way back in the 90s. So
gotcha.
I like her a lot in this movie. I love Keanu as always, like good supporting characters. I don't know. I guess I recall it being more exciting, and it just didn't do it for me this time around. I don't know.
Really? Not even a little bit?
No, in the beginning, but that was like the excitement of like, oh man, here we go. Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock. I remember this, like, oh, and Dennis Hopper's the bad guy. And like, and then I like, oh, Dennis Hopper's not a good bad guy. Like he's not very good in this movie. There's plenty of other things I watched, man. I found myself like I said, shortly after the bus jump, I just kind of started to go, okay, what's next? Like, all right, it's okay.
What did you think of the passengers on the bus?
They're good. They're fine. Alan Ruck can always, he's the tourist, and I always like him from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and he just kind of pops up randomly and these supporting role characters, and
sure,
they're fine. They're good.
Okay. What'd you think about Gigantor? Okay. I thought it was kind of weird that Jack, this like straight-laced guy who's being all proper with Annie, all of a sudden he calls this guy, "Hey, Gigantor, come and help me." I mean, you're giving people nicknames now?
Yeah.
Gigantor? So
I agree. It was very random. Like, couldn't have been like, "Hey man, what's your name?" Like, can you come here? Like,
hey, can you help me? And it's, "Hey, Gigantor." And it goes,
I dubbed the Gigantor.
Yeah, it's like, really, Gigantor? Right, because he's a big guy.
Keanu was the muscle. Jeff was the brains. It's a partnership. It takes two.
Yeah, but he was being all proper with Annie while she was driving the bus. He goes, "Oh, that was excellent, ma'am. I've never seen driving that way."
Look at her.
Yeah. So whatever.
Sandra Bullock, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie. I was expecting it to be what I remember it to be, and it's just not anymore. And I have plenty of action films that I will revisit and watch over and over again, where this one's like, okay, it holds it's a good time capsule. It's, I remember liking it then, but it's just it's not that rewatchable for me anymore.
Fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion, my friend. So
Even though I'm
let's
wrong.
go ahead and even though you're wrong. Let's rate it. What are we gonna rate it? Scale of 1 to 5.
Are we just gonna throw out a Gigantor, or are we
What is
gonna,
it, Gigantors?
Gigantors, since we're just randomly naming rating systems these days. You're going first this time, man. I have a feeling that I'm gonna put the pressure on you because I'm gonna surprise you.
Okay, all right. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 Gigantor being really bad, 5 Gigantors being fantastic. Okay, I still think this movie is pretty good. I don't think it's a great movie. I found a lot of flaws in it. I like Keanu Reeves. I like Sandra Bullock. Dennis Hopper was a little over the top, but that's fine. Jeff Daniels was cool. It's about a bus, and it's kind of unbelievable at times. The jumping scene, I can forgive it. So I'm going to go with a 3.5. 3.5 Gigantors for me. I like this movie. I'll recommend it anytime. I don't know if I'll watch it all the time, but I liked it. I'm glad I rewatched it. It still brings back a lot of memories. In 1994, it was a good movie. It still kind of holds up a little bit for me.
Good, I like it. Yeah, I felt like it probably was a 3.5, and it just kind of dipped a little bit. I think that if they closed the movie with maybe like "Crisscross, I Missed the Bus," that would have been better than the Speed song.
Oh man.
Despite all the people that are in this, something's missing for me. Something in the script, something just sharpen it up a little bit, man. A little too long. You already mentioned, ending not necessary. I'm gonna go with 2.5 Gigantors here.
Wow.
It just kind of let me down. And
we don't see eye to eye on this one. I like
never
it.
taking the bus again, just like you, Annie.
When's the last time you took the bus, man?
Oh my God, I can't even recall. A Greyhound bus. It was about a decade ago. There you go.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. I've been your host, Gagne. With me, as always, my partner in crime, the Nald Dog. We'll be back very soon. Make sure you like and subscribe. We appreciate you watching. Let us know what you think about Speed. We'd love to. We'll check you next time, guys. Thanks.
All right, everyone. Take care. Bye.